Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Got my trusty ant spray. I actually started yesterday. I did kind of this side of the house in the back, and I did going up around the front of the house and all the way up to like our big Christmas tree, our big pine tree. And got that all done, got that all nailed down. So that was really good. But I still have all that to do up front and along that fence line. I know there's a few, so I have to take care of those. But that's okay. I've filled up another bottle. I did check this morning the anthills that I hit to see, like, you know, how well does it work? And there was no movement. I kicked the anthills, I messed with them this morning, and there was no signs of life. So it seems to have done the trick. I'm gonna keep an eye on him, you know, over the next week, because I know sometimes they say if you have to hit him again, you know, in a week or so. So far, so good. But still lots to do because, you know, we got Freedom Weekend just around the corner, and we've got basically, you know, what, a week and a half. It's like 2 weekends left to kind of get things done. So obviously still working on it during the week as well, but this week Frankie's, you know, in Starkville most of this week, and tomorrow I have to be in Starkville with her for like the whole day because she finds out about her junior state officer position, if she made it or not, and the parents have to be there basically to like approve the paperwork. So we have to be there like potentially all day. We don't know yet. But I do know we have to leave the house at 6:30, which means 6:30 in the morning. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is kind of doing my morning chores for the most part like the night before, and then I'll just have like, you know, Beulah's stuff ready and do her real quick in the morning and kind of top off everybody's waters tonight and do all of that so that I don't have to worry in the morning if I'm running behind or if I hit snooze, because I have to get her there on time. And yeah, so gotta make sure everything still gets done. Mike was able to take all of the birds that Frankie and I processed out the other day and get them parted out and frozen in the little food saver baggies, and get the other birds bagged so that we can get them into winter camp. And the ones that he parted out we're actually going to be using for Freedom Weekend. We're doing, one of the meals we're doing is going to be like barbecue chicken. So that is going to be all ready to go. We'll have all of that parted out, ready to go, good, happy chicken. So I'm excited about that. I still have a lot to do. Mike's typing up kind of like the menu and the itinerary, and people are offering, you know, to help of the people that are coming. So I need to start letting them know, like, okay, you can do this if you want to, you can do this if you want to, and kind of get that squared away. I still got to scrub out that cooler that had the birds in it. I rinsed it out, but I didn't like bleach it out yet. So I did like clean it really good with the hose this morning, and then I took all the chicken livers and the hearts and the necks, and I boiled them this morning. I was making a loaf of sourdough bread that I got from White Rock Homestead, the sourdough starter, and I just kind of boiled them up real quick, and I took all the necks out, and I gave, because the bones get kind of soft, and I don't want the dogs to choke on that, but the dogs loved the livers and the hearts, of course, and I gave some to the inside dogs too, and then the inside dogs got like the broth basically that it cooked in. So they were very happy this morning that they got those. But man, I'm not excited. It's not too warm today, which is one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm gonna come out today and do it. I'm gonna hit that whole, I'm just gonna walk the fence line and kind of just go up and down until I hit an anthill. And do them and get them out of here, because nobody who's parking their RV or putting their tent up out there is going to want to, you know, step out first thing in the morning and have that, right? So that's not pleasant. But between all the running around tomorrow and kind of having to be gone all day tomorrow, I'm a little stressed about Friday's video, trying to get it done in time with all the things that I've got kind of going on, but I know it'll work out. I'll get it all done. I always do. It's just one of those things that this week, probably Friday, after I do like my boring cleaning of the inside of the house, my weekly clean, I'm gonna come out here and work on some things and kind of probably do another burn pile. I did one already, but I feel like I'm gonna be ready for another one. And then, you know, get a few other things kind of done and put away and certain things pulled out. I'm gonna work on the garage and kind of get that worked out. And then that'll help with the burn pile too. So that's my plan kind of for this week, to just kind of get those couple things done. It's a bummer that I basically have to wipe Thursday off the map as far as not being able to be here to get anything done. But we'll see. I mean, there's a chance we might be able to get back before it's dark and maybe get, you know, one or two things done before we're exhausted and ready to just kind of crash from being out all day. But we'll see how it goes. So, and then tonight, well, you guys are going to see this on Thursday, but we have our live with you guys tonight because I'm filming this on a Wednesday. And so I always look forward to that, to seeing you guys and talking to everybody. And we did get a little bit of, I don't want to say hate. Hate's not the right word. I mean, some people, well, here's the thing. Out of everybody in like the family group of YouTube, I think we have been doing it the longest. And I don't say that as like a flex. I say that in regards to what I'm about to say next. We have had our fair share over the years of bullies, haters, nasty comments. You'd be so surprised about what people will say to you on the internet. And I know that, you know, Mike and Lissa from Drifting Dreamers. I always want to say it backwards. Did I just find an anthill that I'm stepping in right now? No, I don't know. Something bit me. But I'm sorry, DD5. There we go. And David from Come On Homesteading recently this week, they've just had a lot of people saying some really awful stuff. I know, you know, same thing with Country Road Cure. They've had issues like we all have, right? I feel personally that there's a point that your channel hits where it kind of peaks, right? And I think they're kind of hitting those points with their channels right now where they're just, people have found them and the trolls have found them and they're just kind of saying what they want because there is no shame in anyone's internet game. But I feel like after a while you're able to kind of weed those people out, or those people realize that they can't rile you and they just sort of disappear. And blocking is always good too. I've definitely blocked people. I blocked a lot on one of our big videos, which was, it's got well over 5 million views. And I think, or no, wait, not that one. I take it back. It wasn't that one. It was another hog video that had, I think, I can't remember how many views it had, but it was one of our really popular videos. And it was when we went to go pick up a piglet so that we could raise it, to grow it out, to process it. And people started talking about how they were gonna go after my child and, you know, how would I like it if somebody, you know, slaughtered my child? And like every vegan's go-to was destroying my child's life. And like, you know, and Frankie was like, you know, 5, 6, 7 at the time, somewhere in there. And, you know, that's not okay. You don't threaten my kid. That's not your comparison that you're going to get to use as a go-to in my world. And so, you know, I blocked people and, you know, did what I did. But I do feel like lately, we haven't had as many just overall nasty haters. We have had very sweet viewers leaving comments, very engaged viewers, people with constructive criticism or maybe helpful ideas, or you know, maybe reaffirming something that we're doing, that they're like, oh, that's a good way to do it because we tried this and that didn't work, but I like what you guys are doing. That's the way we ended up doing it, whatever, right? I appreciate those comments. But, you know, Tuesday's video, we talked about the garden. And if you guys watched Tuesday's video on Through Mississippi, you know that Mike's garden does not look like what it was supposed to look like at this point in the summer. We had a series of unfortunate events. Mike got his starts ready on time. They were growing like gangbusters. Mike got some broccoli and collards and something else in the ground, I can't remember. And he had like a couple rows done, right? And this was early, okay? This was like, I don't know, end of April, maybe beginning of May. It might have even been a little further back than that. But anyway, he had them all in there, good to go. I think it was in April. That's when it was. It was April. So we had those things in the ground, and then Dan, our weather goat, had gotten out a few times, and he just decimated a bunch of his rows, and he was like, I'm scared to plant the rest of my starts because until we can figure out how the animals are getting out, I don't want to risk losing everything that I've started growing, but I need to be getting stuff in the ground in the next couple weeks because the next things need to start going in. Well, we finally figured it out. Got that taken care of. I believe we had processed some birds that day. I think we did the first round of Cornish. And so that was when we caught him getting out. But then after that, it was a series of really bad, heavy rains, like really bad, which then it was muddy. And you can't really plant in that. We had to, and then it would be like, okay, well, and then he had work. And then he had an injury, so it set everything back. And anyway, some people left some comments, and not very many. Most people were like very understanding. I only say this to say this, that there are some people in your life, whether you're on YouTube or not, you're gonna have people that view your life kind of like an entertainment field for them, even if you're not putting it out publicly on the interweb like we are. There's some people in your life that are a little bit voyeuristic and are a little bit, maybe uncouth, or they like people's struggle, or they like to stir the pot, that kind of thing. And that's okay. Let them do them. I don't let it affect me when people get on the channel and do that, because those people don't really know me. They don't know our day-to-day. They know the edited videos that I have put out, and they think that that is our whole life. That little thing that fits in the box, they don't see all the hours of work that wasn't filmed that we did, all of the maybe illness or injury or sickness, or which we may discuss, we may talk about it, but y'all don't see it, right? Y'all don't see when I'm scrubbing the toilets inside. Y'all don't see when I'm doing loads of laundry. Y'all don't see all the fun things like that us as farmers, homesteaders, YouTubers, creators, whatever you want to call us, still have to do, And so I only say it to say, everybody thinks they know the whole picture when they're looking through their horse blinders, but they don't see everything else that's going on. And there were reasons why the garden got to be out of control. There were reasons why he didn't get his plants in the ground on time. It wasn't for lack of caring. It wasn't because it's a hobby. It wasn't because he doesn't care or he's not serious about it. This is the first year. And here's the other thing. If it was about me, I wouldn't have gotten so heated, but they kind of went after Mike a little bit in the video and made some kind of comments. And so I did respond. I clapped back a little bit because I got to defend my man. But that being said, if it was for me, I wouldn't have said anything at all. I probably would have let it slide, or I would have been like, okay, you have no idea, whatever. I would have let it roll. But I felt the need to defend him a little bit. I felt the need to explain that it wasn't that he's not taking it serious. It wasn't that he's not passionate about this. It wasn't that he doesn't put in the effort or doesn't understand hard work. The thing you have to understand about Mike is what you see on here is such a small part of who he is and how he is and what made him who he is. He's in his 50s. He's lived. He was in the military. He grew up dirt road poor. They were off-grid before off-grid was the cool, trendy thing to do. They lived on the land. They carried their water in buckets. They built their house as they lived in it, only to then watch it get burned down before they finished it, with no insurance on it, by the way. So they just, you know, they just had to bail. They had to bail. And so, and Mike's been on his own pretty much since then, since he was a teenager. So, that being said, he's one of the hardest workers that I know. He is, in a lot of ways, kind of had to raise himself. And I think he's done a good job for the most part. You know, we all have our flaws, right? But for somebody to make the comment that he doesn't understand hard work, or he has a desk job, so he doesn't understand blue collar hard work, manual labor, makes me cringe. Because he can fix stuff, he can build stuff, he can grow stuff. He grew up hard. All the stuff that you guys find entertaining on YouTube now, he grew up hard. Like, he did that for real before there was sponsorship money involved and, you know, YouTube AdSense involved. Now, I'm not saying this to take away anything from people that are doing that now and their channel. I love those people. I'm not saying this to detract from them, mind you, okay? I'm only saying it to say that Mike is a very capable man and has done, does do, and will continue to do a ton. While yes, his current day job is a desk job, he didn't start out at that company at a desk job. He started out as a blue collar guy who was on construction sites working his tail off every day. So this is the first year that he has not had a garden in the ground on time since he and I have had property together. So since our first house that we got in like 2007. Okay, and he had gardens before that when he lived in places where he was able to. For a while, we lived in an apartment, there was no garden. We had like herbs on the balcony. But this is the first year that it's not done on time. So, and I know a lot of you, like I said, most people didn't say anything bad, and a lot of you came to his defense in there, which I appreciate. But I just wanted to address that because there's always going to be haters. I don't let it bother me anymore when they come after me, when they say I'm too girly or I don't do anything around here. I kind of laugh it off and I make jokes about it in other videos. But when you come for my family, is not okay. Especially when I know the 180-degree opposite is true of what you've just said about him. I'm going to defend it. So I just wanted to put that out there for people. And I may actually even address it a tad on 3 Mississippi, just because I know it'll reach more people that way. And I think I might just do that. Mike may not want me to do that, but I might do it. I don't know. Anywho, I gotta get to work. I gotta go spray some ants. And while I was filming this, my husband called me from inside the house. The call is coming from inside the house. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope you remembered to join us last night for the live, which right now as I film this hasn't even happened yet because it's a time warp. So anyway, appreciate you guys, and as always, stay blessed and safety's off.